What's going on, you guys? Lit Man Tuck coming back at you with another book review, and this one is called The Dark King by Gina Maxwell. And it's quality, right? It's very quality, but I'm gonna say I did not know what I was getting myself into. You can't read a book by its cover, and you can read a book by its cover. I did not read enough of the cover, all right? All I saw was a black background, and it said The Dark King, and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty cool. And then I started getting into the book. Like I do Audible, right? I did the audio. Great narrators, great storyline, great characters, all right? The main character, he reminds me of, what's that show called? Is it Lucifer? Where the dude is like Satan, and he's like, he owns like a casino or whatever the hell. And he's just doing his thing. Good looking dude. He's dark. And there's a girl out there, and she softened him up or whatever. It's kind of like that. I'm like, okay, this is a pretty cool story. And then it got into some 50 Shades of Grey type stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? What am I reading? So I go back to the cover and I read the fine print on the bottom. And it said something like New York Times bestseller, Neon. It's a romance novel. I'm like, oh my God, this ain't for me. Romance novel, Neon Moon meets 50 Shades of Grey or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But I was already in it. So I stayed in it. All right. No pun intended. All right. So, but anyway, good storyline, but it made me think about some things when it comes to books as compared to shows. When people make shows like this, they try to get everybody. They try to get men and women. But when people make books, they normally, like, sometimes they try to gear towards women or they gear towards men. Now, obviously, in this one, they had a great, good storyline, great narration, great characters, but it was geared towards women. And I'll tell you how. But I would also tell you how this same character could be used as a character in one geared towards men, because a very cool character. He's like, the main character is Faye. All right. Like he's a freaking fairy. All right. So lots to that. Right. So I thought that was pretty cool. The main character is a fairy. He has fangs. He's beautiful and all that stuff. Right. But also he's very dark, and he's the freaking fairy king. So obviously he probably fought a lot of wars, but not in this book. He was doing some other stuff in this book, like some for real 50 Shades of Grey type stuff, outside of the storyline. When that hit me, when I started hearing those parts of the book, I was like, whoa. So I went back to the cover and read the bottom, and I was like, oh, okay, it's one of these. Now, here's the thing. They're still good, right? Not for me, but I can still listen to them and still like be entertained by it. Okay. So sometimes I skip over those kind of parts and read the storyline, but think about this. So most books that are geared towards women, like the romance novels, I always talk about this. They use 3 types of monsters. Okay. They use 3 types of beast. So the first type of beast that they use, and sometimes they do 2 of 3 or 3 out of 3. The first beast is a billionaire. So they get somebody who's a billionaire. He's cold, he's heartless, and he just has all these girls and stuff like that, right? So most romance novels has that type of beast who is a straight up billionaire. The second type of beast or monster is a supernatural, right? He could be a vampire. He could be a fae or a fairy or, a werewolf or something like that. The third type of beast, and this is interesting, is a surgeon. I don't know. So that's the data. That's the stats. Those are the 3 types of beasts. Now, in this book, he is a fairy. So he's a monster. He's a supernatural. And he's also a billionaire. So he checks 2 of the 3 boxes. And he also cold. He's a womanizer. And also on the cover, I didn't see this, but he's a deviant. Okay. Like I'm like, whoa, I missed all of this. I was so excited about reading the book, and I walked into that one. Now, if I didn't see it, I would have never listened to the book, and I still think it's a good book. So whatever. So every now and then I'll do a women's romance novel if it has a cool enough character. Now, the way this character could be geared towards men, if it was another book, if some other author took it up, or if I don't think she would. Like the author, I read her storyline, and she does this for fun. I'm pretty sure it's a full-time job because she has great stuff, but it's like what she's into, okay? But let's say somebody else took up this same exact character. I think this would also be a pretty cool character because men, we want to hear about the come up. We want to hear about the come up. Like, how did this fool start? Like, where was he when he was a little kid? Who did he have to kill to become the freaking fairy king? How many people tried to kill him, and how many battles and wars did he fight? Right? Where with women's novels, and this is just my observation, I could be totally wrong, excuse me, they want the either the love story coming up, or they want the fool already developed. The fool is already the fairy king. He's already a billionaire. He's already famous. All right, now let me see if this girl can get that fool. You see what I'm saying? So those are the differences that I see, just my opinion, based on books that I've read. And me, I always accidentally will read a novel. Maybe I'm doing it on purpose. Maybe a subconscious part of me likes female fantasy novels or whatever. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this book. Just wanted to highlight it, go a little deeper into these, and just think, just throw some ideas out there. If somebody wants to take on this character, get with that author or whatever. Not in that way. I mean, like, get with it like on some collaboration type stuff, man. Get your head out of the gutter, all right? But this book, the head is definitely in the gutter on this one. I ain't gonna lie. But good storyline, good character. That's all I got for this one. I'll see you on the next.